All hands hoist the colors high.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Blake and Blake Sports. What an intro that was. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it?
Oh, wow. And I'm Blake Anthony. This
is Blake and Blake Sports. It's been a while, my friend. We were going to do this on Saturday morning. We didn't get a chance to do it because you like to sleep. I like to sleep. We're both busy. And how long has it been since we've been on this show together?
It's a couple of years, man. A couple of years, right? Yeah. And now we're back at it.
Yeah, we're back at it. Absolutely. As like and share, of course, as always, as I'm looking right now to see if we are live, and it looks like we are live at this point. So let me go ahead and do that little followers tag because it won't work on my cell phone. Thanks a lot, Facebook, for that.
I know, just rude.
It is rude. The same as follows as the sports web, of course. Open phone lines, as always, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's talk about this. You outdone yourself. I don't know if this is this Todd Bowles and Jason Light with the beard, or is this me and you?
That's me and you. They made me a little darker. I guess that's how they see me, I guess AI. They definitely got you right. They got the look right. The beard makes you look like you're 25 instead of 55 your age. But they got me looking a little older, and I think I do have both of my eyes.
The suck right there.
Listen, I got my sound effects on you. I ain't no 55 by any means, but you're exactly right. I felt good about that picture there, although I don't got the salt and pepper going on at this point, Mr. Blake.
Salt and pepper here.
Salt and pepper, yes, absolutely. So what should we get into first? Is it the Bucs off season? Is it the recent report that's come out? Because we'll cover this tomorrow night at 9:00 on the sports web. But let's kind of get into this. According to a report from ESPN's Jenna Lane, the Buccaneers have met with Evans reps Darren Johns and Derek Gilmore during the 2026 NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis a couple nights ago, and have been aggressively in pursuit of re-signing him. Now, of course, this is the first time we've heard the Bucs are aggressively trying to re-sign him, which is great to hear, as I've used this word over and over again on my show on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, talking about be aggressive, be aggressive. Yes,
be aggressive.
Right, exactly. So what do we make of this situation? What's your whole thought process? Are you concerned about Mike Evans testing free agency? By the way, tomorrow we're only 7 days away from the legal tampering period when it comes to free agency, as other teams will get the opportunity to talk to Evans and his camp there. So how concerned are you, Blake Anthony, here on Blake and Blake Sports, a new show, or an old show, if you will, if you haven't watched this before? How concerned are you about this situation, the Mike Evans situation?
Like I said, concerned. It's really up to the Bucs. I don't think Mike has ever shown any type of, intuitive to leave the team if they didn't want him. I think every time they wanted him, he's come back and played. He's shown he wants to come back another season. I don't think you want to go out that year on the way he went out, missing predominantly 75 to 80% of the year due to injury, and then you want to call that your last year. I knew kind of he wasn't going to go out on that, but the question is I think it's more the question more is, what kind of deal are you going to offer him? I think that's really what the question is. What is the deal going to be? Because we know the Bucs are hurting as far as cap goes. You need a hell of a lot of help on the front seven, and you could make a playoff run, a Super Bowl run, if you can get your money right and get the right kind of guys that you need in the system. But it all depends on. It's all going to start on what you want to give Mike Evans. So I'm not too concerned. And Jenna says they're going to go all in and try to retain him, and I wouldn't be mad at it because of the way that the Bucs have injuries year in, year out. You need as many damn people as you can get. So I mean, that's what I think.
All right. I will say this. It is not about money. Some people will say it is about money. It's not. Lifetime contracts, total, Mike Evans has made $155 million. If it were about money, he would have left a couple years ago. Remember, Bucs fans, he had the opportunity to leave for greener pastures when it came to the Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, some teams being thrown out there. Now the Buffalo Bills, supposedly. You look at the qualifications, because this was the other thing here from Jeremy Fowler today, and what his priorities, supposedly, according to Fowler of ESPN. Strong quarterback, Super Bowl potential, top offensive coordinator, and high volume targets. We can definitely dissect this, but I'm going to tell you right now, when I dissect this, and I'm going to do that, the Bucs definitely fit all those qualifications. And once again, the relationship between Evans and Jason Light in this organization, it's different. It's a different one. So I'm not concerned about it. In fact, I'm more optimistic going through these qualifications. So let's go ahead and go back to a 2-shot there, and let's talk about these qualifications. A strong quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Is he a strong enough quarterback, in your opinion, to persuade a Mike Evans to re-sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And I'll throw this out there. Jason Light had this to say at the Combine this week, because they've been doing their rounds, and he talked to Pro Football Talks Mike Florio about this and said that Baker Mayfield is a lot like Tom Brady in that he'll recruit players. Players want to come to the Bucs and play for them. Do you buy that? And do you think that Mayfield is a strong enough quarterback to persuade Evans to re-sign?
My opinion?
Yes.
I want to address the last part first.
Go for it.
Don't ever mention Baker Mayfield and Tom Brady in the same conversation. Secondly, absolutely, people do like Baker Mayfield and what he brings and plays, and I think he is that kind of guy people want to play for and everything. Told you I was not the biggest Baker Mayfield fan, only because his maturity. He has shown to me he has grown up, and I love the guy now. I love him. I seriously do. But I'm critical when I need to be critical, and it's fair. And I will give him praise, and I will get on him when it's fair. And when he is healthy, he is an MVP candidate. Key word, when he is healthy, he is an MVP candidate. And he's in it. And part of Mike Evans coming back the first time with the extension was because he wanted Baker Mayfield here. So I don't think that's really an issue. Targets, that's going to be what the defense plays it on against you on the defense. If they're going to bracket you, play under over. And is Baker going to take those shots at you when you got one-on-one and 50-50 balls and things like that, which he will do. And which he will do if Mike Evans decides to come back to this team. So I don't think any of the things that he's asking for are unreasonable, in my opinion.
All right. I'll say this. Mike Evans has expressed strong support before for Baker Mayfield. In fact, he said in the past, he's a true competitor with high energy who does whatever is necessary to win. Also, he's praised Mayfield for being dialed in, making great throws, and being a key reason for his continued success and desire to stay in Tampa. That's what Evans has said.
Yes.
2 years removed. Baker Mayfield, 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Mike Evans also had a good year. So what changed in 2 years' time? Well, a lot of people will look at it and say Baker Mayfield, his start, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But the second half of the year, when clearly he was hurt, he was dealing with multiple injuries. And listen, I know, and I see a guy who completely hates Baker Mayfield on the YouTube chat there, Brent O'Neill, not necessarily the biggest Baker Mayfield fan, but it's not an excuse. You're dealing with multiple injuries to your shoulder, oblique, knee. It's going to affect your play. And then furthermore, when you don't have 2 of your starting guards and your offensive line is reshuffling, that's also going to affect the productivity of that offense. So to me, what's changed at this point? I don't think anything has changed. I still think Baker Mayfield is the franchise quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in my opinion, and can be that, especially under a Zach Robinson offense. But we'll get back to that in a moment. Now, the other qualification here was Super Bowl contender. Let me take this one first. I think this is tricky. Go to the one shot here. I think this is real. All right. I think this is real tricky here because right now, if you're looking on paper, because football's not played on paper, but if you look at what they had in the second half, how they finished off, the free agency situation, they're not a Super Bowl contender. Although they have lots of potential with those weapons getting back, with Kalijah Kancey defensively getting back, you definitely feel like that defense will be improved. Now, do the Bucs have an opportunity to be aggressive in free agency in the draft? That's what they have to be. And listen, the National Football League, it's not for long. Who thought that the New England Patriots, after a 4-13 season, would end up in the Super Bowl? Not me, not you. That's how it works. But when you make the right moves, when it comes down to changing coaches, changing players in the draft and free agency, that's how it goes. Who thought the Seattle Seahawks were going to be in the Super Bowl? Guess what? They were. They can change it around. So again, the National Football League can be not for long. 1 year, you're not a playoff contender, and the next year, you're not only winning your division, but you're also in the Super Bowl. So I would say this remains to be seen, and this is where, for me, the Bucs have to make those moves to prove to him, Evans, and his camp, especially Evans, that they're not only series NFC South contenders, but they want to be Super Bowl contenders. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. What do you think about them as Super Bowl contenders? Same?
Only if you address the front seven. It's fun. It just annoys the shit out of me because you guys know me for years.
Right.
With me and Peter, whatever platform I'm on, I say the same thing over and over. Bro, you got to get to the goddamn quarterback. Everybody spends money on the front lines to get to the quarterback, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the one time you did it, you won the damn Super Bowl. Go figure.
Right.
Go figure. Your offense is set. I said all year long, I said, minus the injuries and everything, I said the offense is set up to succeed. You spent all your money and all your superstars are on offense. I tell people all the time, I said, name 5 superstars or game changers on defense. You can't do that. It's hard to do because there ain't much.
Right.
And they've got to do that. And if you're going to do that, you've got to do it up front because a good front end makes it easy on the back end. I said, and if you can do that, that's what Seattle did. Went and got a disgruntled DeMarcus Lawrence from Dallas. Went and got defensive tackle from Texas. Went and drafted defensive ends, picked up former first-round picks from other teams that were outcast and made these guys a whole unit with depth and everything. And then here you are, you picked the journeyman and Sam Darnold. All he had to do was not give the ball away to win the Super Bowl. And he did just that. And why can't Baker do the same thing? Stay healthy. Peter, me and you text back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to give you a fair analysis on stuff. And when you say about Baker and things like that.
Sure.
What did I tell you in the text message? Baker Mayfield is his own worst enemy. That's what I told you. I texted you. I said, it's taking unnecessary hits. You don't need to be shoulder checking corners going out of bounds. You throw the ball, bruh. You don't need to be screwing your shoulders up.
Right.
You're trying to truck stick linebackers, which essentially derailed the season because you screwed your shoulder up after you did it.
Right.
On top of the other things you pointed out, offensive line and injuries everywhere else with the wide receivers, stuff like this. So, but the main part, you got to take care of yourself. His biggest problem is himself. Got to take care of yourself. That's what I got.
Well, I think you definitely make a great point because Todd Bowles talked about it this week. They got to, Baker Mayfield's got to stay healthy. He's got to be also cognizant of, living to fight another day because they have to have his availability. I know you want to read some of these comments, but he is one of the biggest, and that would be Brent. He's one of the biggest Baker haters.
That's
but
fine.
I will say this, and that's fine. That's fine. He doesn't like me. He's a short quarterback, but here's a player when he can stay healthy. But what I noticed last year with all the offensive movement, with all the offensive line injuries, that he would try to, move around before, and there was no reason for him to scramble or move or anything like that.
Right.
He just didn't trust the offensive line. And it goes back to what Rondé Barrett was talking about on his show, where he felt like Mayfield didn't trust the offensive line. And I think that's a fair point. Now, what you're planning on here is to keep this offensive line healthy. What you're planning on is to turning around this season. And again, 26-11 is not bad. It's just when you start out 13-2 And then the second half, you're 13-9, and you throw a lot of critical interceptions in the fourth quarter, which costs your team. A lot of people are definitely looking at it because you're not good enough to overcome those turnovers. What you're watching right now is Blake and Blake Sports. I'm Peter Blake, along with Mr. Yes,
Blake Anthony.
There you go. Blake and Blake Sports is back. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 on a Sunday night edition. We'll see. We're going to do this on Sunday night. We're going to do it on Saturday. We're trying to do it live. Blake wanted to go recorded. I don't necessarily like recorded. I do that already with the Fan Arch Network with Bucs Latest. By the way,
into it.
I did. I talked him into it. I said we wouldn't go that long. It just depends on, again, you fans out there, if you guys call up, make some comments. But let's go back to this real quick. I tell you what, let's read some of these comments and let's see what these guys are thinking real quick. You've got control over this. I don't. Wow, says Jim. Thank you, Jim. Brent says that's the point. He can't see over the line. Remember, Payne Durham was wide open against the Falcons. 3rd and 18 doesn't happen. Plenty of quarterbacks, Brent, miss players all the time. I can guarantee you Tom Brady. And again, the comparison is out there of Brady and Baker talking about how he's recruiting. I'll never confuse the two of them. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. But to sit here and say, Baker Mayfield isn't a good quarterback or hasn't put up good numbers, and you're thinking he's just a bust at this point is ridiculous also. Look at the numbers.
Yeah,
all right. What else do we got? What show is this? This is called the Blake and Blake Show from the old school days there. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. And we're on YouTube. Get off a Baker. Donald has more interceptions and won a Super Bowl.
But he was healthy.
Right.
He was healthy. That's the problem.
But here's the thing about Sam Darnold. He also had his interception and his turnover problems during the year. And what happened during the postseason, he was able to clean that up. He depended on the running game and Kenneth Walker the third, of course. And that's what you can do. That's what the Seattle Seahawks showed you. They can run the ball. You can play defense. You can get after the quarterback by rushing from 4. And Sam Darnold was able to cut down on it. So this whole thing of, Baker Mayfield can't win. He can't cut down on his turnovers. He's not the right quarterback. It's just nonsense at the end of the day. But you have to have a healthy offensive line in front of you. You have to have healthy players around you. And they didn't have that last year. Good quarterback. What are we going to do with the running back situation? We might need a backup. I mean, we can address that. Tyler Algier from Atlanta. He's a free agent out there. There's also a report today, David Montgomery wants out of Detroit. He's a player right?
That wouldn't be bad.
So, Tyler Algier drafts somebody in the later rounds. He could definitely do that. Sean Tucker, restricted free agent. I think Rachaad White's out of there. I think he's burned his bridge. I don't think he's coming
back. Done. He's talking shit. He's done. And that's the politics that happened with football.
Right.
You knew coming into this year, Rachaad White was coming into his final year in his contract to get paid. You purposely sabotaged him to not get paid. That's why he's upset. He won't say that till he's signed elsewhere. But I promise you'll hear that elsewhere. You sabotaged him so he wouldn't get whatever he needs to get paid elsewhere, so he'll come back and sign. But he's not going to sign because you essentially screwed him this year to get paid. I would like to see them bring Sean Tucker back and him get a fair chance at a number 2 spot. I would like to see that. Don't know if it'll happen, but you definitely got to do something at the running back position. You definitely got to do something at the tight end position. There's just a lot of spots that the Bucs need to fill.
Listen, I'll say this about the running back situation with White. I think, to be fair, anytime you gave him the opportunity to tote the rock, he didn't do consistently good enough. That's the reason why they moved to Tucker in the first place, because when they gave Tucker that opportunity to tote the rock, he was productive, highly productive. Should have went to him early on, because to me, White's not a starting running back in the National Football League, and he's going to find out the hard way. He's a good third down back. He's a good change of pace back. He's a guy that's great in pass protection. He was very valuable to that Bucs running back room. But as a starting running back, no, sir. I don't think he's that. And if he's upset about it, look in the mirror. Be upset with yourself. You got every opportunity to surpass Bucky Irving when he was out with injury and did nothing. That was on him. I criticized the Bucs for not going with Tucker in the first place. So I definitely think Tyler Algier from Atlanta would definitely be on the radar for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Once again, it's connect the dots season here with Algier, knowing the Zach Robinson system there out of Atlanta. Now the new offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Definitely. What about the Tennessee situation? TN? I don't know what the situation is. Tell me what that situation is.
Yeah, elaborate, Jim. I'd love to hear what you got.
Yeah, I would love that, Jim. Jim right there. I love Jim.
Damn it, Jim, what the hell is the matter with you?
What we're gonna do about
I'm sorry, let me bring it up. Oh, we talked about that. Where we're going to Bucs trade. All right, I was waiting for this one. So
okay.
Let me get a single shot on this.
Go
listen
for it.
to me and listen to me clearly. If you want to change the front seven immediately with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you decide to trade for Max Crosby, you can't give up the first round pick. You've got to go the 2 seconds. Why? If you got to go to 2 seconds and the Godwin, that's clearly what you're going to have to give up. So if you do decide to do that, you get Max Crosby. He's 28. You got at least good 4 years left out of him. You're not going to get a Max. You got the potential to not get a Max Crosby production out of any of these draft picks coming out, possibly. So you solidify that if you decide to do that. And then you draft Sonny Styles with the 15th overall pick. You've immediately upgraded your defense in the front seven immediately just with those 2 picks. And then you could do whatever the hell you want after that. But if you decide to do that, you do that and get Crosby, and then you pick Sonny Styles at 15. He will be there at 15. You change that defense immediately if you do that. Your opinion, Peter.
Well, listen, if you're going to get Crosby, I don't live in La La Land here, so you're going to have to at least give up the 15th overall pick, and I get it. That's what you do because defensive ends, edge rushers, they don't transition over right away when it comes to the NFL. We know this. They have difficulty doing it as a rookie, and if you're Todd Bowles, you're Jason Light, you can't afford to wait for a rookie to come in and transition. Nope. You have to get veteran presence. So you have to give up a first-round pick. That's what you do. If you have to give up a first-round pick next year, how much confidence do you have in this team? Well, if you feel like you're a Super Bowl contender or you're at least a playoff contender that can go far in the playoffs, then you give up playoffs, give up that second first-round pick, and then there's a player out there you give up like an Antoine Winfield Jr. to free up some money. That's certainly a possibility because I love Winfield Jr., but he really hasn't lived up to that contract, whether he's been hurt or whatever else. It hasn't been the same Antoine Winfield Jr., so that'd be a possibility. Maybe even a Chris Godwin. I doubt it because if you're going to bring back Mike Evans and Godwin's relationship in itself, that wouldn't make sense at the end of the day. Listen, Harry the Greek, he put it out there. Trey Hendrickson, this is the best of both worlds. He's going to be $20 to $25 million. He has 81 sacks, double-digit sack monster for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's from Florida. He's up there. He's 3 years older than Max Crosby, coming off an injury, but still a productive player. You definitely improve at that point. And then if you keep your draft pick, you go 15. I don't think there's any way that Sonny Styles is going to be there unless you trade up. Why you say that? Because he ran a 4.47. 43 and a half vertical. Well, the tape is there. I mean, the guy transitioned over from a safety to a linebacker. He's a clean prospect that can cover. He's got great coverage skills. So I don't think he's there. I think he's top 5, top 10. Now, listen, if he drops down to 10 and you have to trade up for him, then that's where you go. If you don't go with that, then again, you don't put your eggs in all in one basket, even though you got David Walker. You go out there and draft a player like Cassius Howe, cash, because he's going to get lots of cash coming out of Texas A&M. And when you watch him on tape, he looks like Von Miller. So I don't know if he's going to be Von Miller, but if he has an opportunity to be under a Trey Hendrickson, to learn the ropes of how to be a professional, you got Yaya Diaby there, Kalijah Kancey can return Vita Vea. You start to feel good about that situation. And then you go into the second round, and hopefully a guy like a Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech, who started out as a quarterback, you go with him as an inside linebacker to possibly be a heir apparent to Levante David, who's better to learn under than Levante David. And then if you look at Rodriguez, he does a lot of things that David does with causing turnovers, forced fumbles, interceptions, great instincts, great leader, the typical I am that man draft prospect that Jason Light and this organization loves. That would be a perfect scenario at that point if you can't get Crosby. But for me, Crosby's a no-brainer. If you're gonna have to trade a couple first-round picks or some premium picks and a player to get him, he absolutely transforms your defensive line just like that. And also, even Evans' agent, who was on the radio here locally for 95.7, he talked about how it would get Mike Evans' attention if you trade for a Max Crosby. Is it going to happen? Jason Light has not been known to do that, but it certainly seemed like with some of the comments at the Combine that he was definitely open to it. What more comments do we got? Because I want to get back to what Fowler was saying when it came to the qualifications of Mike Evans coming back and re-signing or signing with the free agent team. What do we got? What's up, King Cook 1485? Sonny Styles look way more impressive than Hal did at the Combine. There you go.
Different positions.
Yeah, two different positions. But again, will Cassius be there? It's certainly a possibility. Once again, though, look at the tape. TN situation. I don't know. We got rid of Cade Otton. The tight end situation you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a whole gaping hole.
Well,
you need to go Devin Cope. I've been hollering since he's been drafted, but we'll see.
Well, you're not going to get Kyle Pitts Jr. because he got franchised by Atlanta. So it makes that market value at this point $15 million. How much are you going to pay Cade Otton? Can you get one of these guys? A lot of people are afraid that the Bucs would go offense at number 15. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. To me, that would be a mistake. That's a mistake if you do that. But that's kind of been talked about with some Bucs Nation people. I think you go later rounds or go out and get a tight end. Isaiah Likely comes to mind. David Njoku comes to mind. Also familiar with Baker Mayfield. That would be an upgrade. Or you stick with Cade Otton at this point because, once again, he was a fourth-round pick. Jason Light knows him. He's just too inconsistent. But with saying that, 59 catches both years, but he only had one touchdown last year. Guess when it was, Blake Anthony? The last game of the season versus the Panthers. You got to get him.
That was it.
You got to get him more involved, but I think it comes down to the injury situation on the offensive line. You keep him in there for blocking purposes instead of going out. Let's get back to these qualifications. If you don't know what you're watching right now, it's the Blake and Blake Show. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter, along with
Blake Anthony from Sports Talk 49. We back at it, baby.
Yes, we are back at it here on the Sunday night talking Bucs football with you. Open phone line 727-255-0391 727-255-0391. Now, we talked about the Super Bowl contender. What do we got here? Isaiah Likely. Yes. Zach, absolutely correct. What else do we got here?
Yeah, Brent, I think that's realistic, and it's not going to cost a lot.
Well, it absolutely may not cost a lot. You may make a good point. He's never gotten the opportunity to really start. And when he's gotten the opportunity, he's shown flashes of brilliance there with Baltimore. Does he still want to be? Don't we have a tight end riding the bench? He's like 6'4" or something. Yeah, Devin Culp. A lot of Bucs fans like him. I don't know if the Bucs like him. Did the Bucs like him? That's what it is.
You had to play Ott, and he's your number one guy.
Yeah.
It's politics, man. I said he had to play your guy. He was your starting guy. He had to do something catastrophic to lose that position.
Yeah.
Hope when he gets in, he's fast as hell. He creates mismatches. He can do things that Otten can't. And I'm sure Otten can do things Colt can't. Like he's probably a better pass protector and stuff like that. But as far as a vertical threat, I think Colt can get with the best of them. I think he's pretty much just like an Isaiah Likely if they decide to use him in that form of fashion. But we won't know till he plays. They use him in that way.
Yeah. Do me a favor, if you can, put that phone number up there. Or put
I got you. I flashed it a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah. Put that. There you go. Well, that's not the number though. 727-550-0391. It's 727-255-0391.
Gotcha.
So, I got you. See, we're producing on air here on the Blake and Blake Sports Talk show here. Of course, he does Sports Talk 49 for Bucs Life. And you know me, I do the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television, and my newest baby, Bucs Latest on the Fan Arch Network. Where you at, Bucs fans? Stand on some business here. Go like and subscribe to the new daily Bucs. And it's 10 to 15 minutes, Blake Anthony, every day of Bucs content that Bucs fans want, and they deserve. Yeah, it's not too bad. No phone calls. You can interact, but it's kind of a recorded thing where it's shown at 11 a.m. on YouTube there on the Fan Arch Network. So go ahead and like and subscribe. All right. Likely is a major upgrade. Absolutely. Want to go back to this here. Brent O'Neill.
He's major, but it'd be good.
I don't see nothing wrong with the Green Bay Packers way. They drafted a quarterback in the first round after Rodgers' MVP year. Well, first, the problem is that most Bucs fans like yourself are not patient. So you're not going to give a quarterback 2 to 3 years to sit behind somebody else. It's not going to happen. Second of all, more than likely, the reason why you have so many first-round busts is because quarterbacks usually don't start right away. And by the way, Todd Bowles and Jason Light are under immense pressure. So do you think they're really going to draft a young quarterback and sit him for a couple years when more than likely if they do and it doesn't work out, they get fired anyway? That doesn't make any sense at the end of the day. Do you need a backup quarterback? Yes. Could you draft somebody in the later rounds? Absolutely. I would see more of a veteran at this point because the window is still open for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And once again, the Green Bay Packers, they did a hell of a job. You get Brett Favre, you get Aaron Rodgers, you get Jordan Love. That's good scouting, but it's also some good luck. We don't even know what Jordan Love is at this juncture. I would say, for me, Baker Mayfield's a lot better than Jordan Love. I don't know if you agree with that, but I would say he has been better than Jordan Love. I think Love is very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Just my opinion. Bucs ain't winning a Super Bowl with Bowles. Of course, because you hate Todd Bowles, but Todd Bowles won it as a defensive coordinator. And because you have the lottery numbers, Brent, you know that the Bucs are not going to win a Super Bowl. What do you think of this? I mean, we kind of talked about this all the time with Todd Bowles. And I talked to Dwight Smith, and we'll get back to the qualifications in a moment here, what Jeremy Fowler said, what Mike Evans expects when he signs with the free agent team. Todd Bowles hatred, Todd Bowles hate. It's all over Facebook. It's all over Twitter. Why do so many Bucs fans hate Todd Bowles?
There's a lot I want to say, but I'm not going to.
We'll just keep it football.
I said I'm not going to, but he's been the most consistent and successful coach that you've had for quite some time. I said he's been the coach that the players respect, owners respect, the GM respects, I'll just say the admin department respects in quite some time. Todd Bowles, whether you like him or not, he will go down in NFL history for what he did in the Super Bowl against a first ballot Hall of Famer and Patrick Mahomes. Basically,
can you go one shot on that? Go one shot on that again, because that's a real.
Oh, you want me to run it back?
I want you to run that back with the one shot.
Right. Let me zoom it in. All right, let me run it back. Regardless of how you feel about Todd Bowles, he will be in NFL history for what he did to Patrick Mahomes, future first ballot Hall of Famer, and basically the only touchdown that happened in the Super Bowl was the plane landing in Tampa, regardless of how you feel. So he suddenly doesn't know how to not coach defense. You got to have guys that are supposed to do what they got to do. And I'm glad you bring that up, is because I'm glad when I listen to people that cover this team and people that talk about stuff, I can tell you've never played football anywhere.
Right.
When you say, oh, the defense is too complex. And I'm glad Bowles said it the way he said it. Too complex? To drop 10 yards into a hook curl? To cover the flats? To cover the deep thirds in the cover two? To play man coverage on it? That's complex? That's what you do on defense. On any defense. You have a zone to cover. You have a man to cover. And you have an area to cover.
Right.
That's in any defense. Do your fucking job. That's how you succeed. And that's what he's saying in a nutshell. get where you're supposed to be. It's not that hard on defense. So when you say reporters and people that cover the team, you say that to try to sound like you know what the hell you're talking about when you really sound like an idiot. When you say it's too complex. It's the same thing everybody else does. The difference is my guys do it, but yours don't.
Right.
That's the difference. So,
well, I want to go back to Brent because he's kind of like my whipping boy now on YouTube.
Let me scroll back, see if I missed.
He says, "Why do people call everything hate? Because people speaking the truth. What truth? Your truth?"
All right, I don't know, Brent, but Brent, tell me what your major gripe is, and I'll either agree or disagree with you. Put it in there. Take your time. Type it up nice. Well, so I can see. Peter knows you. I don't know him.
Yeah, well, go one shot with me on this.
All right, I got you.
Said what Jason Light said. If you hired a coach and he won 75% of his games, would you be happy? If you won the division 3 years in a row, trash division. Yeah. All right, go down all the way down there. Let's see. The last comment. They had 4 starting offensive linemen out in the game. So what? Injuries are a part of the game. You will come on here and say the Bucs are trash and Todd Bowles is trash. And I will sit here and tell you that injuries were a part of that. And you'll say, what excuse do you have now for Baker Mayfield? So you don't want to make excuses for the Bucs when they have legit injuries, but you're willing to sit here and talk out the other side of your mouth and say that Kansas City had offensive linemen. They still have to go play the game. They still have to rush Patrick Mahomes. They still have to have a defensive game plan against the Chiefs, who are looked at as a dynasty, by the way, but you won't give them credit because they had 4 offensive linemen out. You'll also be the same guy that will say, well, the Eagles win there by coaches because that team was struggling. They still have to go out there and play the game. How many Bucs coaches have won this division? John Gruden, how many division titles did he win? Besides winning the Super Bowl, how many divisions after he won the Super Bowl? Right. Right. I mean, his
coaching resume in Tampa is really not that good.
Right. All right. Let's go back to the second shot. Let's go back. Let's go out to the phone lines here. Oh, the Dolphins game. He threw 2 picks in the fourth quarter. Okay. He had a bad game. He had a bad second half. Of course he did, Brent. Again, what truth is this? Is this your truth or is it the real truth? Let's go ahead and go out to.
Damn it, Jim. What the hell is the matter with you?
Jim, welcome to Blake and Blake Sports here on a Sunday night.
Yeah, Brent, I agree with you. Baker Mayfield is ass when he's injured. Oh, absolutely. He can't drive the ball. He makes terrible decisions. Oh, yeah. I agree with you tenfold. That's why I said when he is healthy, he's an MVP candidate. When he is healthy.
Right. But he wasn't healthy. But it's not an excuse. It's an excuse when we talk about Baker Mayfield being hurt in the offensive line being hurt. But it's not an excuse. It doesn't apply the same way when Kansas City was hurt. Jim, are you there, my friend? Where are you, Jim? I don't know what's going on here.
I thought I heard him.
I thought I heard him too. Hold on a sec here. Let's try this again. Jim, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
There he is, man. Pay the phone bill.
Right.
Yes.
All right, man. I was just thinking, I was just calling in. I think the Todd Bowles haters are like coming over from Tom Brady now. And they just upset because we lost the second half of the season, which I understand that. But they putting it all on Todd Bowles like it's not other parts of the team. So I don't understand that part.
Well, listen, it was a total team collapse. It wasn't just the defense. Did the defense have a major say in that? Of course they did, especially versus the Atlanta Falcons. But if you thought that offense was anything to write home about with all those weapons, that's the reason why the offensive coordinator and Josh Grizzard got fired. And those comments this week, I mean, did he throw Grizzard under the bus a little bit? Yeah, but he was telling
don't have no excuse.
I mean, listen, Blake, you saw these comments. I don't know if you've seen them, Jim, but when you're going with schemes during practice, but you're not using them in the game situations, and then essentially Todd Bowles has to help the offense and the offensive coaching out. Do you think there's a possibility that may take it away from him focusing on that defense? Of course it is. That's the reason why you hired Zach Robinson in the first place. So to me, that was eye-opening. That was eyebrow-raising, if you will, with the comments this week of the former offensive coordinator, now with the hated Philadelphia Eagles as a pass game coordinator. Good luck with that. What else, Jim?
Well, I'm glad he they retooled the coaching staff, so hopefully that'll help us out a lot. And I think, man, if we just focus on the defense through the draft, what do you think about Jason Light and who's on the draft this coming up?
I think free agency is a big time indicator where this team goes. I mean, if they address, and we'll get back to the comments in a moment, some good comments here. Brent won't let it go. He's just he is hell bent on trying to fire Todd Bowles and get rid of Baker Mayfield. He wants to go back. He wants to go back to the doldrums. You want to be a Jets or Cleveland Brown fan? I see it. I can see it right now.
I can't see where they're going to start all the way over.
That's how I call them jokers, man. I call them, and I go back to my favorite movie, The Dark Knight. They just want to see the world burn. They're just all about chaos.
I just find that division talk funny. You bring it up when it fits your narrative. You ain't say shit when Tom Brady and the Patriots was dominating the trash ass division and in that division for so long. And there's other examples where NFC, what they used to call it, the NFC least, the NFC East at the one point.
Right.
All that, like, it's funny when you pick and choose when a division is trash. You care about when a division's trash or not.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Brent, I think you win the AFC South there, don't you? Win the AFC South there for a couple of years. I mean, every division, AFC East, it's always hard fought. Is the NFC South a weaker division? Yes, we know that. But in saying that, the Bucs won that 3 years in a row, and it still wasn't good enough for you Bucs fans out there. Nope. So you want a new coach, you want a new quarterback. And then you're going to come on here and bitch and scream about the Bucs losing, which you don't understand the aspect of. The reason why this team wins is because the continuity and consistency of keeping what they have in-house instead of frigging changing it every year.
It doesn't work. It don't work.
Right. It doesn't work. It's been shown it doesn't work. Ask the Jets, ask the Browns. Jim, anything else here on Blake and Blake Sports?
Dominated the division.
Todd Bowles' locker room level, so I ain't never heard a player
Todd
bad about him yet.
not even
a little bit.
Didn't absolutely good stuff there, Jim. Appreciate the call. Always, Levante David said it. He would have not came back. He would have not considered coming back if Todd Bowles was replaced. We've heard it from his play. I talked to players last year. People were, well, what are they supposed to say? They don't have to. They don't have to put put it all out there. And again, they don't have to say they love Todd Bowles and they respect him. They've shown in the past they played for him. People take this year and go, there you go, there it is. So
they tried to push that narrative all the end of last. You remember? You watched it just like I did. All the players that stopped playing for him. Says who? You?
Right. You?
I said because you ask any of them guys, they know they're not playing for Todd Bowles. And you talking about he don't have personality? He said he has personality all the time because the 2-second clip you show him on the sidelines in the game, that's how you judge him, how he is the whole year. It's a narrative-based town in Tampa when it comes to media and the way people perceive things. You're not there every day. So if your stars and the guys you love are telling you what it actually is, I won't listen to him because he's not saying what I want him to say. So it's not validated.
Last two comments there on YouTube. King Cook 1485. I like him. So we're okay with just being happy making the playoffs. Okay, got y'all now. And he said y'all. You know how I hate that y'all.
Who's that? I'm happy to make it. I'm happy to win games.
We're just okay to just be happy making the playoffs. You know what I have to say to people? And we talked about this off air. And I'm going to play the sound effect from TJ Reeves.
Go away. Go away. I will hold the door.
Winning championships. You're supposed to win a championship every year. You win an NFC South division. It's not enough. You win a playoff game. It's not enough because you have the excuse that you didn't beat a good team in the Philadelphia Eagles. You're right in it. Beating the Detroit Lions, who went to the NFC Championship, you're a couple plays away.
You were drive away from winning that game. Drive away.
You act like this team is the worst team on earth. And you act like also that you're supposed to win a Super Bowl every year. In fact, if you were a Kansas City Chiefs fan and you applied this stupid logic, you would want to fire Andy Reid and get rid of Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah, they would.
Some Bucs fans. Well, I'm glad you're from Texas. It doesn't matter if you're from Texas or if you're from El Segundo at this point. You have to appreciate the fact of what this Bucs team has been able to do the last couple years when it comes to winning the NFC South, being a consistent playoff. And people go, Well, they didn't have a good team. They had a better team. They're also dealing with the Tom Brady salary cap hit, where they had to clear cap, where they had to get players
down the road.
I mean, it's I don't know. We can continue to read the comments. Yes.
But Peter, what I noticed, Peter, with these people in this town, it's not what you say, it's who's saying it. Because you'll say the same exact thing as anybody on the 4-letter network or say about this team.
Right.
You'll say the same exact thing. It has to fit a narrative that they want, and it has to be who's saying it. Yep. Because I've heard you say it several times. What you just said. Do you want to go back to being in the doldrums? Do you want to go there? I say this all the time when people talk about coaching changing, like Tomlin and things like that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, how did we lose the game?
Right.
Was it actually the coach that lost the game? Because you can't go, oh, Tomlin sucks or Bowles sucks because the guy was one-on-one and couldn't make a tackle in open space and gave up a touchdown. How the fuck is that the head coach?
Right.
Sounds like that's a player problem.
Right.
Or it's a one-on-one and he can't make a play on the ball and the guy goes up and catches it over him. How is that the coach's fault?
Right.
He ain't playing.
No.
That's why I measure. How did we lose the game? Did we lose it on the quarterback turning the ball over like the Bills? The Bills got their head coach fired because Josh Allen can't stop turning the ball over. The terrible turnover that he did before the halftime and gave up 3 points on a stupid fumble, but you fire the head coach?
Right.
Like shit like that. Like, how did you lose the game? Did you lose the game because of coaching? Or did you lose the game because the dude couldn't do his damn job? How did we lose the game?
Yeah, but it's true. And I go back to Brent says, you guys would have been happy with Alex Smith because he was doing the same thing Baker's doing, but I've actually won more games. You're not patient enough to have Patrick Mahomes.
Alex Smith, you talking about, right?
I was talking about, I don't know. Well, Alex Smith was also with the Chiefs.
The Chiefs,
and they made that change. But they didn't win the Super Bowl right away. It took them a couple years. Again, the patience in this town is amazing with some fans. Again, you need to have a reality check and go back to where you were lucky to win 5 or 6 games a year, where you were lucky to make just the playoffs.
You weren't making them at all at one point. It wasn't too long ago. You wasn't making them at all.
Right. You gave us Josh Allen. We win a Super Bowl. Really? You win if you have Josh Allen. Josh Allen's had weapons with the Buffalo Bills. He can't win a Super Bowl. So you would want to get rid of Josh Allen. You want to get rid of the coach. You want to fire everybody. That's what I'm saying. Like, it takes a lot more than just a freaking quarterback. You got to have an offensive line that's healthy. You got to have an offensive coordinator, coach, defense, running game. You've got to have all those components. If you don't have all those components together, guess what? It doesn't work. It's not just on one position. Enough with that nonsense. All right. Let's go back to these qualifications that Jeremy Fowler reported on today that Mike Evans is looking for. A top offensive coordinator. Well, hold on.
I won't call it top, but you got a guy.
Well, I would say this. Go full screen with me on this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the plan all along. They're getting Zach Robinson because he's shown 2 years removed from being a top 10 offense with the Atlanta Falcons when, oh, by the way, you have a quarterback that's healthy. He's shown that. Having a top 10 rushing attack, being able to put up points. And, oh, by the way, the reason why you get Zach Robinson in the first place is because you're trying to duplicate that Liam Cohen offense in the first place. That's exactly what he's going to bring. Your thoughts on Zach Robinson, the hiring, because I loved it. I think he checks all the boxes. He worked under, of course, Sean McVay. He worked under Liam Cohen. They have similar offenses. He's had success. And, oh, by the way, when Bulls hired Dave Canales and Liam Cohen, they had no experience calling plays in the National Football League. This coach does. What do you say?
I don't know. There's a lot there's been said about Zach Robinson. They say his play calling is predictable. And this is by basically Kurt Warner's the one that says that. So he gets another chance to reinvent himself, taking on a new position somewhere else. You get a new chance to invent him. You don't have a tight end that you had there, so make sure to see what you do at that position. But I would like to see a lot better play calling than what I saw with Grizzard. I think Grizzard when things got tough and things got hot, he failed to call the necessary plays. There were several plays and situations where I don't think he gave Baker Mayfield outlets when he got into trouble. There were plays where Baker Mayfield screwed himself out of getting out of situations. So I don't know, honestly, Peter. I'm not going to sit up here and say that because something's brand new is going to work. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to give you a fair analysis on it. Because we don't have some of the things that the Atlanta Falcons have. We don't have the Buccaneers don't have a running back like the Atlanta Falcons have. We have a Bucky Irvin, which is pretty good, but he's not the back that the Falcons have.
Some question marks. He is going to deal with the shoulder surgery this offseason. It was last year. So
how many times you heard me tell you Bucky Irvin is not a every down back. He cannot take that kind of pounding. You saw what happened when you did. You missed him for 7 weeks. And he's not that back. He's that back that you had the year before where you came in as a change of pace back. He came in healthy, was able to give you every 110% when he came in. I don't know how Robinson's going to use him like that. Robinson's going to have his a tough challenge, especially at the tight end position and the running back position, because the Bucs don't have a running back on the roster right now besides Bucky Irvin. If you get Mike back, your wide receiver is probably your best position on the team right now. If your offensive line can stay healthy, that's probably one of the better, at least mid-grade in the league. And I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see with Zach Robinson, see what he does with his play calling and situational plays and stuff like that. And of course, a lot is going to be with Baker Mayfield staying healthy. That's
all right. Full screen. This was the plan all along, Bucs fans. They were trying to duplicate Liam Cohen's offense because they were a top 10 unit in the first place. Well, Tristan, I love you, brother. We'll get back to that comment in just a moment. But this was the plan all along. They're trying to duplicate Liam Cohen's offense, have him focus on the offense, being Zach Robinson. You have Todd Bowles focus on the defense. The other qualification was high volume target. I'm glad you mentioned that because just 2 years removed, Evans had 74 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, tying the league in just 14 games. And oh, by the way, Baker Mayfield had 41 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. Not too shabby. So with all those priorities and qualifications, what I'm trying to tell you is that the Bucs fulfill all those, whether you like it or not, whether you like Baker Mayfield or the coaching or whatever. Look at those qualifications and tell me, besides 3 out of the 4, the Super Bowl potential is there with this team, and they got a lot to prove in this offseason because right now they're not a Super Bowl contender, but that can change. Nope. And just like that, when you make some moves, especially in free agency and, of course, the draft going forward. Go back to Tristan there because he's not the biggest Baker fan. Let's hear what he has to say. And let's see if we agree. Well, I get the Baker love, but what point was he a Bowles guy? Well, he's a Bowles guy. We know he's a Bowles guy. We know Kyle Trask, by the way, is not anybody's guy. In fact, this report from our friends there, Joe Bucs fan, they said that somebody told them, because you always get these nuggets later on in the later years, the reason why it took so long for the Bucs to hire a Dave Canales in the first place is because offensive coordinators did not believe in Kyle effing Trask. That was not me saying that. That was the source that told Joe Bucs fan at the combine about Trask, because the Bucs wanted to see it through. They wanted to give Trask the opportunity.
Right.
And to some Bucs fans, Trask actually beat out Baker Mayfield in training camp, which he was never able to do. But yet there's still people out there thinking that he could start in the National Football League when there's nothing that proves that Trask, whether he's gotten the chance or not, nothing that proves that he could be the starter in the NFL besides somebody coming out and saying to Joe Bucs fan, the reason why the Bucs, there's offensive coordinators that turned down the job because of Kyle Trask. You believe this? I believe this.
Yeah, because they know you thought that was their future at the time. And they were like, I ain't going to work that. Trust me, you're not going to go into a situation where you know you're going to fail.
Right.
And I talk about this with James. It's a good thing that James came up there. And I had a reel, and a lot of people had something to say about what I said.
Love you, by the way, James. It's good to see you there doing great things with Big Game Sports Buzz. We got to get you on the Sports Web sometime, but thanks a lot for tuning in here to a show that a lot of people forgot about. It was one of the first shows on that other platform. Yeah, it was on the sidewalk there at Fergs. It was Blake and Blake Sports. We go back and forth to do the Sports Web. We do Blake and Blake Sports. Easy for me to say. We do like 3 to 4 hours of sports talk. We'd be tired and we'd be sitting there at Ferg saying, damn, is this going to lead to something? And man, it's been leading to a lot of great things for both of us at this point. So I'm glad we reimagined it. We brought it back from the dead. It's good to see you again, hang out with you, talk to you about especially the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League. Stand by because we're going to go out. We'll finish that point that you were making. Let's go out to Eric Moreno. Welcome to Blake and Blake Sports on the Sunday night.
Oh, you have to fix that phone, Eric.
Yeah, the phone is messed up tonight, man. I don't know what's going on here.
We're going to get Max Crosby with Trey Henderson when we win the damn Super Bowl. Let's go.
What now? Go ahead.
I'm with that. You don't give up no picks to get that. I'm cool with that.
Start over again because you were saying something. I think you were thinking you were on the Sports Web, and that's okay. But go ahead and do it anyway. Go for it.
If Mike comes back, maybe Hendrickson. I know he's a little older than Crosby, but you know what you're getting with him. You need a bona fide pass rusher,
right?
Absolutely.
And 15, I don't know if it's going to be there. Maybe, and Tony Styles is going to be gone.
Styles will be there at 15.
I'll bet you a plate of wings, Blake Anthony, that he won't be there at 15.
Bet it.
I would love for him to be there. He's to me, he's the perfect prospect at this point, and he fits what the Bucs are going to do. First and foremost, hold on.
Tweeners are scary for teams. Tweeners are scary.
6'4", 244, former safety. So he has the instincts. We all know that Todd Bowles loves his safeties, loves his secondary guys. He's a chess piece where you can use him to blitz, do other things. He's a sure tackler. He's been a highly productive player at Ohio State for the last 3 years. He runs a high 40 time, has 43.5 vertical, 11 broad jump. Yeah, I get that, but there's going to be teams out there, Blake Anthony, are going to look at him, whether he's an off-the-ball linebacker, and say, man, we can do some creative things with him, like Todd Bowles is thinking. I think it goes top 5, top 10, at least top 5.
Devin White was a 5th overall pick, so
who would only dummies to do that?
I'm gonna bet you wings and a soda.
You're saying Sonny Styles goes top 5. That's an easy bet. He does not go top 5.
He at least goes top 10. He won't be.
No, don't stretch it now.
No. We'll say this, Harry the Greek, because you're trying to do what you did with Anthony Richardson there. I see what you did, and Greek lost that bet, by the way. Richardson's on the trading block, but I said
Colts are dumb. But they are dumb. That high.
But that's why I took the bet in the first place. But we're going to bet a wing dinner with a soda, with some drinks here, Sonny Styles will not be there at number 15. If he's there, brother, I'm giving it to you.
That's easy.
I don't think he makes it. I don't think he makes it past. I don't know who picks 8 or 9, but
that's the bets. He won't be there at 15 unless the Bucs trade up for him. Bets?
Yeah.
Because teams don't draft middle linebackers like that. He's going to be at 15.
All right.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either because I think he can do not just a middle linebacker.
You guys are infatuated with the 40-yard dash. They look at tape.
No, if he's there, you take him. If he's there, turn the card in.
Y'all didn't think twice. Y'all didn't think twice about Sonny Styles till they showed the 40-yard dash at the combine. Now everybody knows everything about Sonny Styles.
That's lies. Because I said no, that's lies. Because I put it out there on the real, like you would say, on the sports web. How he was a perfect prospect because he was a safety / guy
and those are teams that have to draft Sonny Styles that run that kind of style. They don't run that. If you're looking for a pure middle linebacker, they're not going to draft him.
Right.
Peter.
Yes, Eric.
Do you guys agree Lavonte David's been working out? Do you think he comes back for another year?
Yes, I do. I think he comes back.
We just talked about this off air, and Peter will tell you I
How
am
about-
close with that
How
camp.
about the Oregon?
Hold
tight
on,
end,
hold on,
Kenyon
Eric.
Sadik?
Eric, hold on. Blake, you're going to say something. Go ahead, say it.
Everybody knows that I am close with that camp.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, just like Ron will tell me every time I talk to him, if Levante David, his body is healthy to play, he will play.
And I'll throw this out there. All the comments that we've seen him say the last couple of weeks on all these podcasts. And would a guy who's going to retire be at the facility working out to no. So to me, and
There you
again,
go.
the ball is in his court. If he wants to come back, because the Bucs want him back, Jason, and I know Bucs fans don't want him to move on from Levante. He's washed up. Move on.
To who? So RCA Dennis? Yeah. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Come
Please
on.
be quiet.
Come on. Please.
Please be quiet.
All right, Eric. Appreciate the call as always, my friend.
Love you, Eric. Love you.
All right.
Good.
Bye, guys.
All right. See you later, man. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Say what you want, but the fact that Bulls and Light
He
or
did this already.
test the
He did
market.
this once already.
Everything you need to know at the end of the day. It's all about business.
Yeah, really.
Maybe
He
it's
does
about business.
I mean, here we go. That's a question I can't answer honestly, King Cook. Is he really looking in free agency? Is he really looking?
By the way, Blake, his agent went on the radio station, said they're looking at all 32 teams, including the Jets and the Browns. Do you really think that? Because if you think that, I'm dating a supermodel. I got one in the other room there. She's waiting for me to get off this show. And if you believe that, once again, I got oceanfront property in Arizona. I got no supermodel. I got nobody waiting for me. You know what I got waiting for me? A big zero at this point, which is a 0 chance that Mike Evans leaves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How about that, Bucs fans? That's what I'm putting out there.
Yeah.
32 teams. Come on. That's a terrible. Or looking at all 32 teams. Really looking at the Jets and the Browns. Somebody looks at the Jets and the Browns. Arizona, you're looking at them. Cincinnati, they got like 300 receivers. They don't need anybody. Come on. 32 teams. Big Game James. Let's go out to his comments because I like what he's got to say here. In fact, he's the former defensive tackle who agrees with me. You know what? We got to hold off on that because we got another phone call.
Oh, take that phone.
Yeah, well, let's go out to Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, you still in the hospital, my friend? How you doing? Welcome to Blake and Blake Sports.
Hey, well, first of all, no, I'm not.
Good.
I got out yesterday.
God bless you, sir.
Yeah, man. But Levante Davis, he's gonna come back for his last year here. And then he's going to be home waiting on the knock at the front door after the end of this season.
As a Hall of Famer, right? Because he's matched all the linebackers in his generation. It's been amazing with his numbers.
Yes, sir. And now, for this young man, Mr. Styles.
Yes, Sonny Styles.
If he's there around pick 15.
Is he there?
Yeah. Tampa gonna get it.
What Blake? What Blake do you support? Put it in the comments there, guys. Well, what Blake do you go with? Blake Anthony on
I
this?
like that. How you spun that? What Blake you support?
What Blake you support?
I like how you said that.
Are you supporting Peter Blake here? Put it in the comments.
BA or PB?
There you go. That's it.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone by pick 10.
Pick 10. See, he thinks he's going to be. He's not going to be there. So he says the Bucs have to trade up. PB. There you go. Look at that. Peanut butter.
PB.
All right. We got two for PB.
Get him if he's there.
Okay. Well, I agree with you on that. I just don't think he's there, brother. I don't think he's there. I'm sorry. I think maybe a CJ Allen from Georgia. That might be a
So let's talk about that. Leave him on the phone. So let's talk about the picks. You got the Raiders, the Jets, Cardinals, Texans. Good Lord, they need everything. Giants, Browns couldn't use everything.
Giants,
Commanders, New Orleans Saints who need wide receivers.
Saints need a linebacker, don't they? Hold on.
Chiefs.
Saints. Demario Davis, how old is he? And dog years. What is he? 50?
He's still playing though. As long as you have him, you don't need him.
Well, I mean, look at the Giants.
They need wide receivers.
Well,
They
they got
have
Malik
none.
Neighbors coming back.
They don't have
Neighbors
any.
is coming back.
Who?
Malik Neighbors. He's come off an
Who?
injury, but yes, Malik
Oh, you talking
Neighbors.
about Giants? You talking about Giants? Okay.
Yeah, the Giants. I think the Giants would draft
They
Styles.
need offensive linemen too. They got him taking a tackle in the fifth pick.
It's the Giants.
And then you got the Browns, then the Commanders.
Okay.
They might pick a linebacker. It's possible.
Yes, there it is, right there.
And then
Barry
the
Wagner getting along
Saints
on
need
the two.
wide receivers. The
Yep.
Chiefs don't have any running backs. The
Yeah.
Bengals at this point at 10, Reuben Bain's still on the board. That's at 10, and Reuben Bain's still on the board. They got the Bengals picking Bain, then the Dolphins, then the Cowboys. They don't have any corners, so they got them
I'll tell you
picking.
this. There's more of a likelihood, as crazy as this sounds, guys, that Reuben Bain could actually fall because everybody is considered with him talking about him. And besides the tape, because I think the tape speaks for itself, he was dominant at Miami. But the reason why he could fall is he doesn't have the longest arms. He has short
He
arms.
has short arms.
Right.
He's got Dwight Freeney syndrome.
By the way, Dwight Freeney, pretty good defensive end.
Yeah, he do.
Yeah.
He do got that.
I'll take
Dwight
that.
Freeney syndrome.
I need to have a Dwight Freeney syndrome for this Bucs team at this point with what they've had the last couple of years. What else, Mr. Williams? I'm glad to hear you're doing good. What else?
Yeah, man. But right, like I say, we gotta get something worked out with Mike. Mike gonna come on back, man. Like I say, Mike know where it's hard at. It ain't all about the money. You know, Mike know this is his legacy here.
All right. I agree with you on that. The legacy is definitely made when it comes to Mike Evans and Levante David, whether they move on.
Mike just want to go out with a bang. And, you know, and I get it.
Well, we all want to go out with a bang.
Because he have a chance to pass Mr. Rice, okay?
Well, no more. Evans doesn't have a chance to do that anymore. But Levante David has a chance to go out with a bang by surpassing Derrick Brooks with all-time tackles.
Yeah, right. He's gonna be up there in the class with Derrick.
Right. There you go.
He's gonna be in the class with Derrick Brooks.
There you go. He's tied with them.
What is true, if he don't come back, if Levante Davis don't come back, we're going to struggle in that position.
Wow. Well, they've already struggled in position.
I hate to say it,
right?
But if 5-4 don't come back, we're going to struggle in that position.
All right, Mr. Williams, I'm glad to hear you're doing
man.
well, man. Keep on keeping on, man. Don't go out with a bang, but if you're gonna go out, always go out with a bang. We all want to go out with a bang, especially a smile on our faces.
Well, I gotta see Harry first.
Listen, Harry's way overdue for wings. I'm getting ready to go to his house and get some wings. You know, this man bet a couple years ago, Mr. Williams, and Harry has not delivered on those wings.
What you said? Harry didn't give up on his bet.
He did not. Mr. Williams is asking for the wings at this point.
Yes,
Harry, how could you?
Now, listen, Mr. Williams, you're healthy enough to eat some wings, right? That's not against doctor's orders. Okay, your cholesterol is not to the moon, correct?
No.
Okay, all right, man. I'm getting ready to bring to the hospital room your wings. Of course, it'd be my luck if I brought you wings and then.
Yeah, man, I'm out.
Right.
We can meet up.
All right, we'll do that, Mr. Williams.
And yeah, man, call Harry. Tell him to come out of hiding.
Yeah, we'll tell you to come out of hiding. He's actually hiding from you because he doesn't want to pay up his bet.
Yeah, right, because he won't answer me on Facebook.
He won't. You need to continue to hit him up every day. Hit him up on his timeline and everything. Just keep on bugging him.
He get Uber to eat some wings to the crib.
Yeah, he needs to Uber Eats those wings. What you need to tell him.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, nothing but love, man.
Love you, brother.
I appreciate you guys.
Yes,
man.
appreciate you too.
All the prayers, man.
All right, man. Absolutely. Love you, brother. All right, Mr. Williams there, open phone line. We'll stay on for a little bit longer because I know you got things to do. I got things to do. I don't have a model in the background, but I am getting hungry like a model, if you will.
I'm about to go cook me a steak as soon as we get out of here.
Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. What's what we should bet? We should bet a steak dinner. You buy the steak dinner at this point. I'm still looking for Harry's to buy me a steak dinner. Listen, big game sports buzz here. He says Max Crosby might be too rich for the Buccaneers' blood. Crosby's
it's too much.
All right. With the 40 time, Styles is going to be gone. So he agrees with PB. So once again, one more for the good guy. Three more for PB. Anybody for BA at this point? I hope Evans doesn't leave, says Oscar. King Cook. There's a chance, but a small handful of teams.
Come on, Mike Evans.
Yeah. Oscar says PB. So let's go to that one. Sitton says we need to fix it. Yeah, there you go. And then T-Rex Arms. Ruben Bain Jr. What do we think of this? Ruben Bain Jr., short arms. There was another prospect out there. I think Cassius Howe had short arms. Is this something that you should actually consider watching for when it comes to a draft prospect? Would they drop their stock because they have short arms, or would
here's the thing with that, and I know a lot of people that are not football savvy, they buy too much into it. So I coach high school football, I coach defensive linemen, and you will excel in games that you don't have to go against an offensive lineman that don't have long arms. Remember, all offensive linemen don't have long arms either.
Sure.
So it all depends on what moves you choose. You game tape. That game you might need to stunt inside and do other stunts to beat your your offensive tackles and things like that, so you can get matched up on guards and things like that. But there's ways to succeed with short arms in the league. Like I pointed out, the first thing I said was Dwight Freeney. You got inside the offensive tackle's chest, and he had that spin move, the Dwight Freeney spin move. He was excelled at. Bain can do either or, but we'll see if that game that he has can transition to the pro level. So, I mean, and that can go with any defensive lineman, honestly. Can it transition? I mean, Bain hasn't played a lot of football. So, I mean, getting him paired up with a coach or somebody that can help him elevate his game would be immense to him. I think if you get him somewhere where he's inexperienced, it would hurt him. But getting him somewhere where somebody who's really good at coaching defensive linemen would help him a lot.
All right. Big Game James says Aaron Donald has short arms.
There you go. There's another one. I forgot about Donald. Yep.
Yeah. Dwight Freeney played with short arms. He's wearing a gold jacket. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take a Freeney.
It's not always true.
Yep. So there you go. All right. So I think we'll wrap it up right there, my friend. Any final thoughts here on Blake and Blake Sports here, episode 1, the revamping of this show on a Sunday night? Go ahead, my friend.
I just love being back with you, man. Talking Bucs football, talking off season, talking some smack back and forth with each other, having a little fun competition. But as the off season goes on, you'll hear more news and stuff like that. We'll probably do this again once free agency market opens, and then those rumors will spill, and we'll see what's true or what's not. I'll make my phone calls to the people I know. Peter will make the phone calls to the people he knows, and we'll have more fun conversation with this. But pretty much everywhere where we stand right now, that's how I feel with the situations that are given to us at this moment. But it's just fun being back together.
It is fun being back together. We could do this every week on a weekly basis, and it doesn't just have to be Bucs football. It can be the Rays because baseball season is coming.
Anything.
Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, tremendous.
Go Bolts.
Yes, go Bolts. Although the last couple of games, it hasn't necessarily been go Bolts. It's been go home Bolts, but we'll see if they can turn it around here. My final thoughts are free agency is upon us. We're only a week away from the legal tampering period, and you know we got you covered here on Blake and Blake Sports, and of course the evolution of sports talk television, the sports web, and of course my newest baby. Please, everybody that's tuning in tonight, go to the Fan Arch Network. It's called Bucs Latest on YouTube. Like and subscribe every day. You get a Bucs show for 10 to 15 minutes, Bucs fans. We don't have any phone calls, but you can comment. And you know what other Bucs platform gives you that? It's only a part of the Fan Arch Network. Again, Bucs Latest. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And of course, for Blake and Blake Sports and all the fans of this show, it's your time. We'll see you next time on Blake and Blake Sports. Guys, I always say on this show to end it off, Go Bucs.
Go Bucs. See you guys next time. Peace.
Yo.